Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for being here today. We're going to show you how to use Kahoot with Google Meet. It's nothing crazy fancy. We're just going to get you started with Kahoot, then make sure you know how to use it with Meet. I am joined today by Ashley Bartholomew, who's a third grade teacher at Rick Avenue, and Justin Dodge, who's a sixth grade ELA teacher from, is it called Lakeside?
We don't have a name.
Okay, just random middle school from Lakeside Middle School. So actually, I'm going to get started. I'm going to take these beautiful faces away, and I'm going to share my screen. Maybe that's not my screen. All right, here I go. I'm going to share my screen, and the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to make sure that we know how to open Kahoot, log into Kahoot. And I actually have Kahoot under my personal Gmail account. So I'm going to show you, especially for the MPS teachers, how to log on using your MPS Google account with no password memorization or anything. So you're going to open a new tab and go to kahoot.com, Kahoot.com, and then click on this sign up button if you've never done it before. And then you're going to click on teacher because you're a teacher probably. School. And now I'm going to click sign up with Google. And it's going to prompt me to sign up. I'm going to choose my school account. So if you're MPS, first name, last name. Oh, maybe I did already do things under this account. So I'm obviously going for free. I'm going to use my basic features and I can't afford the $3 a month. I'm a public servant. So I'm going to click continue for free. And now I have my free Google account is set up and ready to go. I did already use this last summer. Well, you get the drift. So that's how I set up my account. And now I'm going to pass the baton over to Mr. Dodge himself, who's going to show us how to create a Kahoot and add some questions.
Okay, I'm going to share my screen. I hope. Okay. And you can see my screen, right? With Kahoot.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, so to create a Kahoot or create questions, you're going to come up here to this white create button and hit create. And I'm going to go over probably 3 of the questions you'll use the most. So I'm going to click new Kahoot. And my questions will form over here on the left-hand side. And to start a question, you just start typing. So I'm going to actually choose some questions that I've given my 6th graders in Kahoot this year. So the stranger told Nathan, and I'm going to put some answer choices here. I'm just going to type, oops. Put my choices here. So it's very simple. I'm just going to fill in anything for these others because you get the drift. And now what I can do is I can change the time limit for my question. So these are in seconds. I'm going to keep it 20. You can also change a point value here to 0 or up to 2,000. I'll keep it at 1,000. Then you can also do single select or multi. So if there's more than one answer. Don't forget to show the correct answer. I'm going to have this be the correct answer. You can actually upload an image, and they have Kahoot has a pretty extensive image library that you can choose from. So this particular answer was that the character Ezra scratched something in the sand. So I can just search anything here. So writing in sand and see what comes up. So something comes up. I like this image. I'm going to put this here. It gives the students a clue. And I'm going to have it, I don't want it to show right away. So I'm going to choose this grid. And as the time ticks by, this 20 seconds, pieces of the image will reveal, and it might give the students a clue. So that's just a multiple choice with a picture. Another question type you can choose is right here, true or false. And again, you can type your question here. Set a time limit, points. Don't forget to choose a right answer. And then to add another question, you're just going to click Add Question. There's also a puzzle feature here. So if you wanted to order these events, how they happened in the story, you could do that, and you can put an event here, and an event here, an event here, an event here. And the students will have to put them in the correct order. Again, you can choose an image here. When they have to do something like a puzzle or ordering events, I suggest that you do give them more time. So you might want to choose 120 seconds. And then one more thing I want to show you, there is a question bank here, which is, you can search for other people's questions. So if we say, what is, you type in main idea, there are questions that are already formed, and you can add this right to your Kahoot by clicking add. And now that's in my Kahoot. Okay, so that's a little bit about the question types. Let me just double check. There are open-ended questions, which you probably won't want to use in the Kahoot setting. And there is, I forgot, I did want to show you a poll. So this, you can make this, you notice there are no points awarded here for a poll. So how did you like the book Weasel? And you can have your choice very much, not a lot, and you can put your different choices here. You also don't need to, if you only wanted 2 options here, you can only add 2 options. You don't need to have all 4. And I think that is all my questions. I'm going to hand this back to Alicia.
Awesome. So thank you, Justin, for that overview. And now we're going to turn it over to Ashley, who is currently using Kahoot with her 3rd graders. And I know most of you have been asking for, how do I do this live with Google Meet? You could do this live with Google Meet. And the way that you would do it live with Google Meet, in case you're unsure, is to obviously have your Google Meet open just like this, and then you can present your screen. I could have my Kahoot up here, and the kids could open a separate tab by clicking on the little plus sign, going to kahoot.it, and then typing in your code. Or if they have their phones or another device, an iPad or something, they could also have it there too and be answering their questions as well. So from what I understand, Ashley has done that, and she has a different way that she prefers. So just real quick, again, let me just show you how you would do it in Meet, but then I really want to listen to Ashley, who has already been through this, done it live, and has a preferred way that I think probably makes the most sense, especially right now. So if I have my Kahoot all set up and ready to go, I can either paste the link right in Google Meet by coming to my chat and pasting the link here for the kids, or again, I could give them my code. And just like we do with our Districts Trivia Tuesdays, they can either open a separate tab by clicking the plus sign, going to kahoot.it, or they can use their phone or whatever, phone, video game, tablet, whatever they have available. And then they can actually participate in the questions that way as well. And then for me on the presenter's end, all I would have to do would be to present now. I want to share my screen. Oh, sorry. don't want to take attendance. I want to share my screen, and then I can just have the Kahoot up just like I would in my classroom too. So let me turn the mic over to Ashley, who's going to tell us her experience with doing a live Kahoot and then what she has done instead. Ashley, the floor is yours.
Okay, hi everyone. So I actually wanted to show you 3 ways that you can do it, starting with the way that I think is the simplest and easiest, going to the most challenging, most difficult. But like I said, I teach 3rd grade, so it could be different for you. So I'm going to share my screen. Okay. Now you should be able to see a Kahoot. Justin showed you how you can make your own Kahoot, but also in the Kahoot library, if you click Discover, there's tons of Kahoots already created for you that you can actually just borrow and use. I would just make sure you preview them first. So what I've been doing with my 3rd graders is I find the Kahoot, and then when I click play, like Alicia was saying, it comes up with an option that says for virtual classrooms, teach. That's for the live game that she was talking about. But there's also this assign for self-paced learning. And I've really had the most success with that because kids don't need to have 2 devices. And also they can play on their own time. So if a student can't join your Google Meet for some reason, they can play it at any time. So let me show you how to do that. So I click assign, and then all you do is pick an end date. And typically what I do is I assign them on Monday and then have them do Friday by like the end of the day. I give them a little bit of extra time, like 5 p.m. And then as you can see, it has a player limit of 2,000. So actually what we've been doing at Rick Avenue is sometimes making like a multiplication and division Kahoot and just like having it open for the whole week and letting the whole 3rd grade play. And it's really exciting because they want to beat all of their 3rd grade friends. So put in an end date, hit create. And then it's as simple as that. You can either copy the link and paste it, or it actually gives you right here other ways to share, and you can just click Google Classroom, choose your class, and then I usually make it as an assignment, and just as simple as that, post it right in there. What I like about this too is as the kids are playing it, and like I said, they can play it at any time. They don't need a game pin. They'll just go to the link, they'll type in their nickname, and it will start. But they have the whole week to play. And then at the bottom, you can see like questions that were difficult. So a lot of students missed that one, or questions that they need help on. And you can also see who didn't finish. So I think that's all really good for that. And I think that is the easiest way. It's not live, but it still is exciting. And usually what I do to keep the excitement up is on Friday, I'll just like make a quick video and show them the little leaderboard that comes up, like here's who won this week's Kahoot. So they're still excited and they're still interested, even though it's not live. Okay, so that's the easiest way. Now, so the way Alicia was talking about, of course, it's not going to let me go back. Okay, here we go. So the other way, like Alicia was talking about, all you would do is you would find the quiz that you want to play, click it again, or the one that you created, and then you would play the live game and classic. And this is how it would look on your screen. So then the best thing for this, I really think, is that the students need a different device because otherwise they're going to be popping back and forth. So you would just present this through Google Meet and they would join either with their phone, like I have my phone right here, or their iPad or another computer if they have that. So like, for example, they would just type that in and then their name, and you can see like I popped up on the screen. That's the way that Alicia described, and that's best for 2 devices. Now, I have one more I have one more way. So you could, and this does not work very well for my third graders. It's overwhelming for them and for their parents. But if you teach maybe high school, this might help them. So another way is to teach your students before the Google Meet how to split their screens. So what you would do is the kids would come in, they would be on Google Meet, and they would see this screen that you're sharing, okay? And then you would tell them how to minimize, like, let's get my email out of the way. So they would minimize, and then they would open up a new tab and go to Kahoot.it, okay? And so then what they're going to do, and this is why I said this is difficult for my third graders, they're actually going to pick up the tab and they're going to drag it over to the side until it snaps. Do you see how it like does that little highlighting on my screen? Okay. And then they'll take the other tab and click that over as well. And then they can see both side by side. So they would type in the PIN number here. Okay. And so they would be able to play, see it, see just like it would show on your smartboard in your classroom once I start. I'll show you what I mean. So they'll see the question here, which one of these princesses is not part of the Disney official princess lineup? And then they would be able to answer over here. And I got it wrong. It was Elsa. But so that's just another way to do it. But I would definitely show them beforehand how to split their screen so that they can see it this way. The only way that I don't think this is really, it kind of loses the sense of being with their classmates because they're going to have the screen open with the Kahoot game, and then they're going to have the other side open with your screen, and they don't really see their classmates, so you kind of lose the element of playing together anyway. So that's just why I like to do the challenge. But these are 3 options that you can try out. So
awesome. Thanks, Ash. It's actually funny. Like there's so many things that I feel like I learned from, you know, like you guys or from colleagues where like in my mind, like split screen, I do it all the time. But then when I think about like with Kahoot, I guess I never made that connection. So thank you for tying that up. So I think we have a very minimal number of live viewers. I'm assuming this is going to be something watching later, but if you are here live, please feel free to throw a comment in the chat. I also put a link in the chat. Kahoot is always offering free webinars live, and they also have recorded webinars available to you. We have our amazing school-based digital learning ambassadors, myself, who are, of course, here to help too. We've got plenty of open office hours and Google Hangout times, and we're here to support as well. I think Ashley really hit the nail on the head when she said, show your kids in advance. I think it's the same thing with like us as adults. Like when, like, for example, we're using StreamYard to stream this. And like before we did our first live webinar this way, we all met and like tried it out and made sure we knew how it was working, because it's really difficult, as we've learned with distance learning, to just like jump into something. So I think it's really helpful with our students too, to, you know, say exactly what's expected and to teach those basic skills up front, because it might not be something we're so used to hearing people say like, oh, kids, they just know technology, but like not really. Like not every kid knew they needed to check their email every day when we left school on March 16th, 16th. So, I mean, now we've learned, and we're learning more every day. Do you guys have anything else you'd like to add about Kahoot, about Google Meet, about life? No. Well, thank you, anybody who's watching, or if you're watching later, thank you for being here, and take care.